What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very interesting news. As the purse split for the highly anticipated Unification Showdown is scheduled to take place April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium, better known as Jerry World, between undefeated unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 21 big wins by way of knockout. He is 31 years of age, 5'9", with a 72-inch arm reach. He'll be taking on WBA welterweight world champion Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, who is 27 wins, 4 losses, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout, 35 years of age, 5'9" with a 69-inch arm reach. With that said, this is the ring return of Errol Spence, who has been out the ring for 2 years, 2.5 years with one fight. Errol Spence, we know he suffered a horrific car accident just 12 days after unifying the titles against two-time welterweight world champion superstar boxer Showtime Shawn Porter. That fight took place September 28th of 2019. Just 12 days later, he suffered the car accident. Errol Spence was out the ring for 14 months. Errol Spence made his ring return December 5th of 2020 against two-division world champion Puerto Rican superstar boxer Danny Swift Garcia, in which Errol Spence won a unanimous decision. He was then scheduled to make another ring return August 21st against legendary 8-division world champion iconic Filipino superstar boxer Manny "Pac-Man" Pacquiao. But Errol Spence, he suffered a broken detached retina, which saw him have to be pulled from that fight. And now Errol Spence has been out the ring ever since. Ironically, Yordenis Ugas, he filled in for Errol Spence. He fought Manny Pacquiao, and he dominated Manny Pacquiao, running away with a unanimous decision, clearly winning the fight against Manny Pacquiao. So with that said, Errol Spence, Yordenis Ugas, hit the two WBC, the IBF title of Errol Spence, WBA title of Yordenis Ugas, going to be on the line pay-per-view event. There's a lot of talks that the PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, is not financially doing well, and thus the reason why they're putting on all these events on pay-per-view, okay? And now you have these reports come out that Errol Spence is going to have a low number of $1.5 million guaranteed purse with the ability to earn $3.5 million on the back end, seeing him earn a total of $5 million. And Yordenis Ugas receiving a total of $1 million, which will see him earn possibly $4 million on the back end. And he would walk away with $5 million, okay? So this is coming from a website that's stating that, Errol Spence is going to receive, a low number for a fight of this magnitude and for Errol Spence, okay? And that they're banking on Errol Spence and Yordenis Ugas doing a certain amount of pay-per-view numbers to be able to reach that milestone. Otherwise, they're stating that Errol Spence is going to walk away with the 1.5 and Yordenis Ugas is going to get $1 million for this fight. Now, that's extremely low for Errol Spence, and that's extremely low for Yordenis Ugas, okay? We know the likes of newly crowned unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer, Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr. He received $1.2 million in his first title opportunity against former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez, who received about $1.7 million, okay? So that means Errol Spence will be receiving just $300,000 more than George Kambosos Jr.'s purse. And that means that Yordenis Ugas, who's fought Shawn Porter, who's coming off of a massive win over Manny Pacquiao, will only receive $1 million. So George Kambosos Jr. is going to be set to make more than Yordenis Ugas. I don't believe these numbers are accurate at all whatsoever, okay? We know Errol Spence, he's done extremely well on pay-per-view for today's climate. There's so many ways for people to stream fights illegally. They don't pay for fights. And so, today's standard in pay-per-view, you're not going to reach 900,000, a million pay-per-views. It's just not going to happen. Not even Canelo Alvarez reached that number. He gets close at 850,000, okay? And some say it was about 800,000. Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman did about 500,000. Manny Pacquiao's a global superstar, okay? Keith Thurman reportedly did 50,000 pay-per-views with his comeback fight against Mario Barrios. It's just not there, okay? With the ability to be able to stream fights and, use different apps and different ways to watch fights and get around pay-per-view, it's just not there. Now, Errol Spence, he did 350,000 pay-per-views. His first pay-per-view outing against 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer Mikey Garcia. He did 325,000 against Sean Porter and 315,000 against Danny Garcia, okay? So with that said, Errol Spence, his purse is much higher than $1.5 million guaranteed, okay? Now, we know there was also reports alleged that, the PBC set us a low purse, but they're actually paying the fighters more on the back end. This was claimed by legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum, as well as, Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy Promotions, right? And they actually took Al Heyman, the founder and advisor of PBC, to court, and they didn't win. So with that said, Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford made extremely more money than this. So you're telling me that Sean Porter's base is more than Errol Spence? I highly doubt that, okay? Now, I believe that their guaranteed purse is going to be, Errol Spence guaranteed purse is probably going to be around $5 million, okay? And and Yordenis Ugas is probably around $2 million. But for Yordenis Ugas to get a guaranteed purse of $1 million to fight Errol Spence in a massive unification bout, okay, and Errol Spence is getting $1.5 million, I highly doubt that these numbers are accurate, okay? I think that these numbers are based off of, hearsay. It's just not, realistic to see Errol Spence get a base salary of $1.5 million, okay? With only, now I could see him getting $1.5 million if he was set to make a massive amount of money on the back end. But in total, he's going to get $5 million. And in total, Yordenis Ugas is going to get $5 million, where Errol Spence is clearly the A-side in this situation with 3 belts on the line. Errol Spence, this fight is going to take place at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, where Errol Spence sells out Dallas Cowboy Stadium. I have a hard time truly wrapping my head around Errol Spence getting a purse of $1 million, okay? Guaranteed. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't even get that purse. He's not the pay-per-view star Errol Spence is. Devin Haney gets about $3 to $3.5 million, and he's not even fighting on pay-per-view. Vasil High-Tech Lomachenko, he got about $2.5 million to fight Teofimo Lopez in a unification bout, and he's never fought on pay-per-view. And yet you're telling me Errol Spence is set to make $1.5 million, and Yordenis Ugas is set to make $1 million? No, I believe this is completely inaccurate. I believe that, this is just somebody just trying to, at this point in time, maybe, set a perspective. They're trying to set a narrative about what the PBC is. So maybe you take a look into the PBC or what their purses are actually garnered around, and is this a flat fee? Because they know it's going to raise a lot of eyebrows, okay? And it gets people to look in. Errol Spence is going to make 1.5, so he's got to be making more than that on the back end. So maybe there's something happening that you're just not aware of. So I believe that this truly is just a way at this point in time to get everybody up in arms, and to get everybody looking into the numbers. And like I said, we know Vasil Lomachenko, he made about $2.5 million to fight Teofimo Lopez with no crowd, not on pay-per-view, because remember, this was at the height of the pandemic, okay? So there was no fans allowed in attendance. It wasn't on pay-per-view. and Lomachenko got 2.5, and Teofimo Lopez got about 1.7. Okay, so you're going to tell me that Errol Spence, who's a pay-per-view star, that's going to open up. He did the highest gate of 2020, okay? And he's going to fight in Arlington, Texas, at AT&T Stadium, where he sells out, and he's going to get a base salary, a guaranteed of 1.5, and Yordenis Ugas is going to get $1 million. That's completely false. These are this is inaccurate, and the truth will come out in the future. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue. Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.